I don't know why it said that. You can edit that out later. All right, hey guys. Today it's me, Jr. from West Virginia and Commonplace, and Stephanie from.
Steph Up Podcast.
And today we're doing a collaborative effort that is outside of those podcast collide episodes because they're getting old and dull. Um, Everybody drinks coffee. Coffee comes into our lives at different ages. It came into mine at a very young age because my mother used to make me make coffee for her. And I had a disdain for coffee until the age of 21 when one day I didn't wake up on time for college. What about you, Stephanie?
Well, first of all, I gotta say, I have met people who hate coffee. They hate the smell, they hate the taste, which is hilarious. For me, I was okay. So I used to see people going, "I need my morning coffee. I can't get started without it." And I thought, I don't want to be that person that needs coffee just to survive. But then I started working, and I was working at a bank in customer service. And when you're dealing with people all day, you're quite exhausted. So I started I think I was in my 30s though at that point when I actually drank coffee because before it was mostly lattes
Okay.
because I like the sugary drinks, and then I was doing like the actual coffees.
Right, and
So
I'll say inside this realm of coffee, I am a cappuccino drinker. I like French vanilla. That's my thing. And
yes,
yes, and it's love, and that's the one thing we'll get into about the love part of that in a minute. But I will drink a cup of black coffee with someone that's having a bad day because I know that sometimes, I mean, that's it's really hard on my soul and my being. But sometimes if you drink that with somebody, you're helping somebody else. So that's my thought on that. But French vanilla cappuccino, that is my love,
mm.
and the love
Have
that
you
I
tried
have.
the Tim Hortons?
I have had Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons
It's
and
very
me.
sugary.
Yeah, me and Tim Hortons, we have a thing because Tim Hortons is taking over, even as far as West Virginia. It's popping up everywhere.
Oh,
Well, with the Burger King acquisition, whoever got it, they've made it more widespread with Tim Hortons. So me and Tim
right.
Horton, I'll say this, it's really weird. I go to a gas station called 7-Eleven, and I get my French vanilla from there. I got it from there a long time ago. The bad thing about it is as of today, right now, I drink Starbucks. I'm one of those Frappuccino guys now. But my thing with coffee, I don't know what happened, but one day I was late for a college class, right? And I said, man, I need to pick me up. I didn't want to drink soda or pop, whatever you want to call it. So I got me a cup of just a Maxwell House. Just it was the caffeinated, the red can or whatever. It might have been Folgers, whatever. I drank it straight black, no sugar, nothing. And I was like, man, I don't feel good. Well, about 10:30 from 8 a.m. to 10:30, I got this spark. I was this new guy. I was like five again. And next thing you know, I was ready to move along. So in your 30s with this coffee, and everybody, this is a conceptual event we're doing here. So we're kind of doing this on the fly with no real questions or anything like that. So we're just kind of freestyling or whatever you want to call it, mad libs or whatever. So Stephanie, when you started drinking coffee in your 30s, what changed with your level of activity?
Well, I was going to school part time and I was working part time. And so that's when I started to every morning I was like, I need a coffee. uh But I think I got to the point I can also drink coffee at night and I'm fine. So I'm actually not sure how much energy it gave me. Uh Although I did drink it double double, a medium double double, and for people who don't know, double double at Tim Hortons is 2 cream, 2 sugar. So
Ooh.
it's like really, yeah, it's really sweet. And I would just drink that all the time. So I don't know how much of that was actually the sugar picking me up. But then you have that crash, right? Like a few hours later, you're just like, blah. And then you need another coffee with sugar to make you have energy again. So
So that's what happened to you. Now I'll tell
that's
us
what
quick.
happened to me.
So I'll tell this quick story about my mother real quick. My mother, she's one of those I can drink coffee at any time. Well, some instances, my mom is like a coffee whore. Like she can drink that instant crap that you just pour in and just shake it around and go. So she started getting me to make her coffee in the morning, in the afternoon, and then for some reason she would wake me up at 11 o'clock after I got into middle school to make her coffee at 11 o'clock at night. And she said I made a real strong brew, which nobody knows how you calculate it when you're putting it in the coffee machine or if you're doing it on the stove or anything like that. but she really was in love with it until the day I moved out of her house. And even when I go back to Virginia to visit her, she makes me make this coffee. She'll wake me up in the middle of the night just for my coffee. So that's where I had a hatred for it until middle 20s, and I started drinking French vanilla. And I drank French vanilla for about 7 years. One day I drank it in the heat, and I never drunk it again like I used to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I drank it
But
like it.
now you drink frappuccinos.
Yeah, I drink frappuccinos, and it's not like it's an everyday thing, but I do slot it in once a week. So,
What's your favorite frappuccino though?
the Mocha Java or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, from not from Tim Hortons, from Starbucks. Now, Tim Hortons, no, it wasn't Tim Hortons. Dunkin' Donut used to have different flavors that I would drink because Dunkin' is a big thing down here. Um,
Yeah.
and then after that, the whole deal about this loving a coffee, from the moment I drunk it, though, I've always had a thing for it. It's something that I have a weird love for it. And I think my love stretches to the point of that, man, even though it's some certain times I don't want it, when it gets cold in the wintertime or something like that, I will pick up a cup of coffee and drink it, not think anything of it, never pick it up again for another 2 or 3 years. So what about you? What's your love for coffee from the first time you had it until now? It's always something that lingers there. It's like, I don't need you, but I want you.
Yes. And I've noticed I'm trying to get away from it. Like when I worked at the bank, I worked in customer service on the over the phone, and I would need maybe 2, 3 coffees a day.
Oh, whoa.
And it was actually pretty bad, and also Starbucks was around, so I would get frappuccinos, and, so I'm trying to wean myself off, but some days I'll wake up and I'm like, "I just want something beyond just the blah blah of the day. I want something, like, yummy, like coffee." So I actually I well, you know what I do? I do the French like, I used to do half French vanilla, half black coffee, and now I do a quarter French vanilla and the rest black coffee because 'cause I'm trying to wean myself off of it. But, usually I like it hot, but on days like now it's getting warm, so then I really want the cold coffees. But I'll still have hot in the summer. It depends on and people are like, "Oh, it's hot. Why do you want a hot coffee?" I'm like, "I don't know, my mouth just wants it." Like, I but yeah, I'm trying to get off, but, it's funny because I used to drink like, I used to nurse the coffee all day when I was at work, and then or half the day, right? And it would get cold, and my coworkers are like, "That's disgusting." But now I drink it so fast, I'm like, "Whoa, that went quick."
Yeah, and I'll even say this: I would put it in a thermostat to keep it warm, and then eventually with my coffee, if I do mix it like you said, like I'll do the French vanilla sometimes on there. I don't care if it gets cold; I'm gonna suck it down regardless because I need that extra
Yep.
boost. And I'm a type of person like my schedule will vary. So between 7 a.m. and 12 p.m., I can put down 2 or 3 cups. Now, from
Mm.
12 to 4, I'll put 1 or 2 down because I'm gonna have lunch in between there, and I've never found the right thing to go with coffee and lunch. Have you?
Oh.
Coffee and lunch, how do we do that?
See, I always found that coffee made me full. So if I had a
Oh,
coffee in the morning, I was not really that hungry. Although I would still eat because when I worked on the phones, you had 30 minutes and you were told when to have it, and you better eat during that time because then you're starving by the time it's your break. Um, yeah, it is weird having breakfast is easier, right?
right,
With
yeah,
coffee because it makes sense. But lunch, if I'm having a salad, no, I'm not having coffee with that. You're right. It's weird.
right, and that was one thing, like, it just got me. I'm kinda like, how do I do coffee with everything else? In the evening time, coffee and, some people call it snack cakes or something like that, oatmeal pie or something like that, or even, a coffee cake. You know? That does sound
Oh,
good, I mean,
Starbucks coffee cakes, they're good when they warm them up. Mm.
yeah, they're just right. So, yeah, that's one there. Um, and I don't know, it's just I was sitting back somewhere last week, and, I was watching this couple, they had coffee, and they had a lot of dramatics and hysterics to them. They wrapped their arms around each other with the coffees and drunk each other's coffees, and I was like, "Man, I have a love for coffee." I said, "I don't wanna drink any," but they reignited the flame that was between me and coffee. And, the weird thing is I made an ad for it without even thinking about how to do the episode or do anything with it
Oh,
because it was
that's where you
just
got the idea. That's cool.
Yeah, and I just seen that and I was like, wow, so coffee. And then me and you collaborate and do a lot of good things together. And I was like, this would be something I think that would be up your alleyway. I didn't even know if you drunk coffee or not. Like I figured you drank coffee and having one of those world renowned voices, I figured you had to have something to level out your octaves. And I figured coffee might work sometimes or it could hinder, but mostly help.
You know what? It does hinder. And it's so annoying because it's dehydrating. And sugar and all that, even sparkling water, which I drink instead of pop now. Uh, and you always have to keep hydrated. So I'm drinking so much water all the time. And I do know voice actors who they're drinking while they're doing their thing, but some people can do that and others can't. So I have to really limit my caffeine intake, which sucks, but
But at some time you do get a cup of coffee, right? Like,
yeah, usually like if I'm doing stuff in the morning or I don't know if I'm working on the podcast and I have to record some stuff and then I'm like, okay, after this I deserve a coffee. So I go get one.
there's nothing wrong with that. So this is one of these deals where this is like one of those just unscripted things. So we're not going to keep it very long because it's just about the love of coffee. So we both have a deep infatuation with coffee. What is your dream coffee?
Oh. Not even latte, just like coffee,
Anything,
like
anything, anything you can think of.
man. Ooh, that's such a tough question. I love my Starbucks lattes. Okay, like I know everyone hates on or you either love or hate pumpkin. But pumpkin spice latte in fall. Oh, that's my favorite. And gingerbread latte at Christmas.
well, I
What
can
about
say
you?
I can say this, like, and this is really bad. And um, mind you, Stephanie's from out of Canada, so she might not know about this. Like, I can go to this. We have various gas stations that have coffee. We have like full setups. We have something called Sheets. We have Wawas and all this other stuff. I can go to any of them, make a French vanilla cappuccino, throw some black coffee in, and then I'll find this creamer. It's a Reese's, like the peanut butter.
Oh,
I'll
wow.
find like four of those, and I know it's not healthy. I will dump them over there and make this concoction, and then I'll find one Hershey. They make a Hershey one, and that's the last thing I'll throw in. And that is my dream coffee. I only drink it once in a while because it will burn your guts up, and you'll have to, alleviate it really fast. I don't care who you are, but it's just one of those things that I'm like, that's my dream coffee. I make it once in a while. I've never made it for anybody, so if anybody takes that concept and does it, it doesn't matter if you're in the U.S. or wherever. You can find these creamers, and you can make it however you want. When you mix those together, it's just like an elixir. It just heals me up and makes me really strong.
Wow. Reese's Creamer?
Yes.
That's amazing. I've never heard of this or seen it, so I will now be on the lookout.
All right, I'll definitely
That
post a
sounds
picture sometime tomorrow or something. Well, to you, I'm sorry, podcast people or listeners, you won't know that it's tomorrow, but we'll know it's tomorrow. Yeah, I'll definitely go get
although
grab one.
you're getting me in trouble because I'm trying to like lower my sugar and whatever other crap they put in those things. I'm trying to be better. But once in a while, right?
Yeah, no doubt in that. And I hope everyone enjoyed this podcast because it was real simple. It was just for the love of coffee, nothing else, nothing more. Not trying to upsell you anything, not trying to get you to persuade to my opinion on this. But if you do have a love for coffee, drop by Stephanie's page at.
Stuff up. Well, my blog is stuffuppodcast.com. My Instagram is stuffup_podcast. And my Facebook is Stuff Up Podcast.
And you can visit me at West Virginia Uncommonplace on Instagram. And all I'm going to ask is just look at my link tree because that's where I keep everything. If I go into too much detail, I don't even know where half the stuff is. I just post it. So, guys, we're going to sign off. And once again, I want to thank you all for joining me, being part of West Virginia Uncommonplace, and Stephanie being part of.
Stuff Up Podcast.
So, you guys have a great night, day, or morning whenever you listen to this.
Bye.